special day for us here at I-95. A rock and roll legend on the phone. Coming to the Ridgefield Playhouse, we're joined by Marky Ramone. What's up, Marky?
Hey, Marky.
Hey, ho, let's go. How are you guys?
We're good, man. You're originally from Queens. Where do you live now?
I'm from Brooklyn. The other four Ramones are from Queens, and I live in Dumbo.
Where the hell's Dumbo?
It's a stupid name. I don't know who made it up. Every time my friends ask me, where do you live, I go, Dumbo. Oh, it must be a dumb place. Anyway, it's called down underneath the Brooklyn Bridge or something. Yeah, I'm near the Brooklyn Bridge. So, it's Brooklyn Heights. Let's just make it a little more, understandable. That's where I live.
Okay. All right. You know what I wanted to ask you right off jump? When I heard we were going to talk to you, I thought about, kids these days. I hate to sound like the old man on the lawn, but the kids these days, they walk around wearing Ramones T-shirts, and I got to wonder how many of them are doing it to be cool, or do they actually know the music? Are you finding that your fans, kids, it's resonating with them and their grandkids at this point?
Well, the Ramones always appeal to youth, and there's a whole new generation out there. I just did a tour of all of South America, Lollapalooza out there with the Foo Fighters. And the kids, these kids, they're like from 15 to 22. I mean, you're not a kid anymore at 22, but it's just a great feeling to see that they like this band. It never stops. And, if the kid wears a T-shirt, he might want to say, hey, let me check out the music. If he listens to the music, maybe he'll say, hey, I'll get a T-shirt. So it works both ways,
Yeah. Now, you guys, this is the other thing I thought of. You guys wrote some of the shortest, hookiest songs in all of rock and roll history. And today, the songs are about 3 minutes, 30 seconds long, but the level of production that goes into this, you can't even know what the actual artist sounds like. Do you think we're missing something in rock and roll these days, getting back to the basics that you guys were pioneers of?
Well, the spontaneity of a band together is, to me, very, very pleasing to hear, because that's the way it should be done. But everybody has their own way of doing things. The Ramones weren't overproduced. The Phil Spector album was produced the Phil Spector way, and that's his style. But the problem is, when you play live, you have to play it like it is on the record, basically, instead of using all these overdubs, which a lot of bands have to resort to. So they bring the keyboards, that brings out those overdubs while the band is playing. So it's not really the whole band playing, it's the keyboardist that puts in all those effects that the band used on their recordings.
Who is it? What is it, I'm sorry, that brought you all together? I'm sure you've answered this a million times, but what united you guys as young men and brought you together?
Well, CBGBs. The fact that at the time in the 70s, rock was getting soft. So, I joined the band in 78. They were together since 75, so it was 3 years later. But they just wanted to, get rid of the fat, So they just kept everything simple, 4/4 count, one song into the next one, and that's how it worked. We just wanted excitement, energy back. The speed of the song itself and the lyrical content was important too.
When you guys came up in New York City was grimy. It was rugged.
It was
tough. Yeah. And today it's like Disney World. Do you miss that griminess, that edge to New York City?
Well, things change, and it was the times, and yes, the city was definitely under a financial strain. There were a lot of strikes, there were a lot of homeless people, but luckily we had CBGBs. But today, gentrification is there, and you can't. Each generation is different. I'm sure my mother's generation and my grandmother's generation complained about the generation ahead of them, you know what I mean? So there's always some kind of complaint from a generation before the new generation. But I just feel that the old days in the 70s had its charm, and today there's some good things too. So everything's relative to time.
Marky Ramone joining the show. He's coming into the Ridgefield Playhouse.
On April 14th. It's a week from tonight, 7:30.
Yep.
Now, what exactly are you going to be doing at the Ridgefield Playhouse? It's not a band setup, right?
No, I'm just going to talk about my life. I have great photos, great videos. There's going to be a Q&A at the end, and a lot of the younger people want to know how it was, what it was like, and all this other stuff. And the stuff that I have is kind of personal stuff that I collected over the years. So the presentation's going to be pretty cool.
And you can buy into the VIP meet and greet too if you want to actually meet Marky. Yeah, it sounds fascinating.
What are some of maybe the weirder questions you get from fans? What is it like?
Are we brothers? No, we were friends. Well, not a weird question. What was it like working with Phil Spector? What was it like in the CBGBs when it just started in '74? You know, like what you asked me. What was New York like at that time? You know, things like that. It's just basically everything relative to music.
This is going to be a special night for rock fans, and I understand it's your first time doing a show like this in Connecticut, right?
Yeah, but I've done about 20 of them years ago, and then I started touring again, so I couldn't do it anymore, and I had to concentrate on my radio shows. So it kind of took a back seat. But now that I just got back from South America, I found time to do it. So I'm doing 5 or 6 spoken word shows on the East Coast.
Marky, you're a delight. Thank you for taking a few minutes to talk to our listeners.
I'll see you later.